Hey, welcome back everyone. Another day, another vlog. Great to see you all. Turn that down as per normal. I needed some sort of volume adjustment for the old iPad. Anyway, hope you're well. It's a Saturday, I think. I have no idea what it is. I think it's a Saturday. Stupid iWatch doesn't work. Series 1 is pretty much useless to us now. I'll give you a hot tip. That was probably one of the most wasteful bits of spending I've ever spent. $1,000 on the stainless steel iWatch Series 1 and pretty much barely does anything right now. What, 5 years later? Yeah. Oh, you live, you learn. I won't buy another top of the range one ever again. They are still quite handy. I still use it for me running, and that's pretty much all it's good for now. Yeah. It's a shame, not waterproof. Should have known not to buy a non-waterproof watch. That's the hot tip, yeah. Anyways, you get that. One of the risks you take, I guess, when you try out new tech. Right, day's been pretty good. Fairly good, had a good day. Me and little buddy Jack had a bit of a play today. We got to wash the dog. He loves that. He got the hose. Quick chance to wash Bentley, get him smelling good because he comes inside a fair bit now with his bad leg. So yeah, give him a nice clean off. Jack got to play with the hose a little bit. He likes that. And yeah, then that was about it. Took him shopping. He loves coming shopping, likes helping out. He's super, for a 2-year-old, super mega helpful. Always wants to know everything that's going on, what's going on, and awesome. He's having a bit of a nap now, so that's good. While he's doing that, I thought I'd catch up with you. Let's get into this news day for the weekend. Not too much tech news, but a few things happening there we'll get into. The OnePlus 8 Pro to now have wireless charging. The whole company had never gone that way. They said it was sort of inferior to wireless. It wasn't as fast as what they thought they could do with actual wide charging. And the founder and chairman had said it wasn't real keen on it, but due to customer demand, they've now bringing it out. It'll only be available in the OnePlus 8 Pro to start with, and they'll see how it goes from there. Again, consumers, you have a choice. Your say affects what people make. Your decisions on what you buy also affects what they will continue to make. So it's great to see that the people making the stuff actually listen to their customers. So very good from their side. And I think they've done that a few times, OnePlus. Been pretty impressed with that actual whole company and how they sort of run their show. London, after Europe, in the last couple of days, have basically voting on banning facial recognition use throughout all of Europe and for at least 5 years until the technology can be assessed a bit more so it's not used evilly, I guess, by evildoers. England and London, to be precisely, has started live facial recognition for baddies. It's already live. Basically, every time you walk in the streets there, if there's a camera, it's checking your face and using live facial recognition to say if you're a wanted criminal, if you're a baddie, if you're wanted for questioning, whatever, they can find you and get you straight away. They're saying that if you're not a baddie, it automatically gets deleted. But yeah, a little, I guess, obviously it's been that way. I think most London people are used to that with the cameras. It's always been that way for as long as I can remember. I think it sort of started in the late 90s when I was living there. So, and I think you just get used to it. It's, from my side, if you're doing the right thing, I guess it's good to have someone watching your back. So if something happens to you, at least they can either catch the person that did it to you, or give you your family, some ideas of what happened and stuff like that. So yeah, very interesting. But yeah, live facial recognition is a whole different kettle of fish, and it'll be very interesting to see how that rolls. China's in lockdown. Has put more travel restrictions on pretty much the whole country. More deaths from the coronavirus. Woohan, I think it is, the province. It's got 11 million people in it. They've pretty much locked down that whole province. So 11 million people told to stay indoors until till toll. They've gone out and got a heap of food and gone on just craziness to get all the food they can before they lock themselves up. Obviously, military's in, it's all full lockdown. They're trying to shut this down. There's been 25 deaths already from this. I know in Australia, there's been one reported incident of it in Australia. So it's spreading. It's already out there. Yeah, if you do have cold or flu symptoms that are sort of out of the blue, please just go and see a doctor. The sooner you get there, the better. The last thing you want is to be one of these poor victims. Yeah, tragic incident, and hopefully they can find a way to get rid of it and knock it on its head and get it out of the system, and everyone can go back to, I guess, normal. So yeah, just be aware of that. If you are traveling, just China, if you have got plans to go to China, please check with your travel agent or the local consulates and stuff like that, because where you're going may be a restricted zone that you just can't get access to. Taylor Swift, new Tay Tay. I'm going to admit it, Tay Tay, I'm a big fan. She's got some great music. Probably more earlier stuff, I guess. Her later stuff I still don't mind, but some of her early stuff, like, she's got a fantastic voice. Me and my wife went to a concert in Melbourne, got to see her, and just a fantastic show, puts on a great show, just an amazing artist. New documentary comes out on Netflix on January the 31st. The behind the scenes, I think it's over multiple years of her touring and coming through the ranks from when she started all the way to sort of become a super mega star, where she can say what she wants. I guess obviously in the start you can't say what you want, and I think that's sort of highlighted a bit in the video. From the preview you can sort of see that she obviously was told and managed a lot when you first start out, and I guess once you get to her level where she runs the show now, she's got a little bit more say of what she can and can't say anything about. So I think it'll be actually a really interesting documentary. It's probably in the past, a lot of superstars have either not done it or the technology wasn't there to be able to capture all this, store it and create something like this. So yeah, I think it's pretty darn cool, and I think, yeah, for someone so huge as her, it'd be great to see sort of the back end, the other side, the side they have to deal with, the pressures, the nutcases coming after them, the constant stress and all that stuff. Seen a little bit, if you've seen the Katy Perry documentary, she was going through a divorce with, what's his name, Russell. When she went through that, she broke down a few times, so that was really like a bit of an eye-opener. And I guess sometimes you just don't think that they're human when they really are. Like, they go through the same issues as we do, even though they're big superstars and got amazing talent and beautiful voices. You obviously sometimes think that they're bigger and better than us and they've got all this money and people to look after them. I don't think it matters how much money you got or who's looking after you. You can still have issues. Rich people have the same issues as poor people. I guess sometimes it's a little bit easier to fight those fights when you've got a little bit of money to afford like stuff like food and shrinks and physiotherapists and stuff like that, so you can get your back done and all the pains and grains and all stuff like that. But mentally, we all go through the same stuff, and this will probably be a really good one. Look into her mind and to see how much pressure goes onto a megastar's brain over a set period. So very, very cool. So yeah, January 31st, look at that. I'm sure it'll be a great watch. She's a fantastic singer, artist, pretty much into everything now a TV star. So very, very cool. Last one, I guess it's going to be a 50-50, or maybe a 50, less than 50-50, depends where you live and what you're into and your religion. So it's sort of hard to put it out there. It's Donald Trump's attended a massive anti-abortion rally in the States. I guess from the way I grew up and all that, I'm not a religious person. Family's never been religious. We just do what is good and what's right. That's sort of the way I've been taught. I think my choice is that women have the right to have a choice, so that's their bodies. If something's happened, for whatever reason, they can't afford it, they've been raped, whatever, on the bad, the negative, even if it's good and they just can't handle it mentally, whatever, having an abortion, I'd put in the same category as euthanasia for people that have, at the end of their time, that are in pain and suffering and want to choose to pass away. I believe the same. It's exactly the same choice as for people who want to have an abortion. It's up to them. It's their bodies. It's their child, and they've got to make the decision. They've got to live with that decision. So it's completely on them, and they've got to make an educated, quality decision. I don't think a government department or other people that have no idea what that person's going through can make a decision for them. I think it's strange that a president would go to something as controversial, I guess, as this, that has such strong opinions against it and for it. Obviously, there are people for it, and that's their prerogative. Everyone's got their own choice. They pay their own taxes. As long as they pay taxes, they have every right to say whatever they want and feel the way they want. It's just something that's gonna, I don't know, it's like he's going to look for stuff that's controversial. He wants that attention. And I think that's really what he's all about. He's really an attention seeker. Whether it's good or bad, ugly or not, he doesn't care. As long as people are talking about him, whether they hate him or whether they love him, that's all he cares about. He just thrives it. And I think that's, not being I don't want to psychoanalyze him, but I think he had a fair few issues when he was a lad. I've got a funny feeling, because obviously he was never wanted as a kid, or at some point in his life he never felt like he's wanted, so now he just craves that, and that's all he cares. He doesn't obviously care about money or anything like that. I think it's more the attention. So especially to go something like this, it's a very controversial. I don't think you'd see most, unless it was like in a, say a Muslim country where it's a right-wing society or a very strong views society where the president's going to that view. Well, that's understandable, but in a democratic society, normally your leaders and politicians tend to sort of sit on the fence and try and play it and be impartial and do, I guess, what the majority is saying. I don't think there's a majority out there going to anti-abortion. I don't think so. But yeah, very interesting. First president to do it, I think, in 47 years since they started doing these things. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the media. It's all over the media. It's in the trending. There's things happening everywhere about it. I don't think it's going to be the last you're going to hear of it. I think it's just him looking for a little bit of attention, and just probably, unfortunately, for the people in that rally that are making that choice and their decisions. I think that's going to affect negatively on them by having him there. He's the last person currently he's like a lecherous cancer. I don't think anyone would want to have anything to do with him at the moment. He's been impeached, so he's already stained. His whole presidency's been completely stained. Do you really want someone coming out that's as hated and probably one of two or only three people ever to be impeached as a sitting president? Do you really want them as one of your main supporters? It's probably a bad decision on them to actually let him come. I think it'd probably be the last one you'd want there. You could probably get some other people, he's second in charge or third in charge, or someone that doesn't have those bad negative things to come. Probably be a better option. But they've got their press, that's what they wanted. So they've picked him. They've picked their poison. Now they're going to have to swallow it. And he's loving it. He's getting endless amounts of media coverage, which means he can go on even more Twitter rants and annoy us all. Anyway, that's it. It's not a good one to finish on, but yeah, you get that. Hot day here, Perth, mid-30s, nice and warm. But a good day, nice relaxing weekend. Hope the rest of your weekend is good, and I'll see you all again for the Sunday night session. Stay safe, don't drink and drive, look after your mates if you're out in the town tonight, and we'll see you all tomorrow. So wherever you're going, out in the town, hitting the hay, or kicking back on the TV and relaxing with the people you love. See you all tomorrow. Ciao.